What is going on, guys? Predator458 here, and welcome back to my channel, and welcome to a video that I hadn't intended on putting up today. We are, of course, in Fractured Space once again. I had intended on doing a World of Warships Tirpitz replay that I had about a week or so ago, and I don't recall the game being updated since I had that game, but the replay file does not want to work, so since I don't really have anything else, Fractured Space it is. Now, unfortunately, this match I wasn't recording live. It turned out to be quite good, so I shadow played it last 15 minutes of video, and that turned out to be just not enough. As you can see, that if you look at the top right corner, the match has been going for just under 7 minutes at the moment. But not a whole lot happened. Myself and another player had pushed up in beta 2. We had dealt with some enemy vessels and I'd got myself killed, so I am back from my first death and trying to capture the beta 1 secondary base on the enemy team. So we're pushing into it. This Fallen Knight Sentinel has arrived from the enemy team. Now this ship is the Colossus, previously known as the flagship. It's one of the bigger early ships in the game. It's something like 1.6 kilometers long. Really powerful ship. Got lots of hit points. Got these flak cannons, and it's got this boost ability that I used there and managed to boost myself straight into an asteroid while trying to get away. And it's got this really annoying combination that it can do if an enemy vessel is trying to get away, because these weapons aren't terribly good at long range, and unfortunately we go down. There are more short range weapons because they're flak cannons, or you can upgrade them to plasma cannons, I think, but they have about the same range. They just fire a bit slower and do a little bit more damage per shot. But ideally this is more of a close quarters kind of brawling ship, and that's a bit of a problem because it is so very terribly slow. But it's got this really annoying combination ability that you can do, and someone was doing it to me in a game I played earlier in this evening when I was in the Pioneer, which is the starting ship for the USR tech tree. And that thing, not terribly fast, not terribly good, completely outclassed by the likes of the Colossus, but you are faster than the Colossus. I was trying to get away from this guy, and if you look, right mouse button, that ability is disable, and ability number 1 is boost, which is what we're using now, which gives you a massive speed boost. And what a Colossus player can do is disable your engines and then boost towards you and close the range if he wants to. I was just using the boost to try and get into position a lot quicker, and we've got the same guy, Fallen Knight, in the Sentinel. So we're going to start putting some hurt down on him. Now our team has, or did, capture the Alpha 1 secondary base and had jumped into the enemy base, but I don't think there was enough support, so I don't think they're going to really be able to do a whole lot. We've got a allied Colossus, so it's the two of us versus Fallen Knight, and unfortunately here I kind of get in his way, which wasn't intentional, and I'll end up getting the kill, blocking Khan's fire. So I am actually going to apologize in chat any minute now. But now Khan and I are going to move towards the beta 1 capture point once again. And there we go, I'm typing, sorry, didn't mean to get into your line of fire. And once that's done, I'm going to move in towards beta 1 once again and try and capture that so we can jump into the enemy base. There was a little flash off on my port side and was an enemy vessel jumping in. So we're just going to continue move, and is it that same guy? Is it also Fallen Knight once again? I think it is. You can see those are his, and then yeah, those are his smart rounds. I take a shot with my right mouse button disable engine feature, and I completely cock that up. Now we are finally within range, and we can start putting some hurt down on him. But you can see you do have to lead here, and my aim was a little bit off at this point, not entirely sure why. And here comes Hunter in his brawler, which is interesting because the Hunter is actually a different ship in this game. So we switch targets, we're going to start firing at him. Now the Hunter is also a sort of close range brawling ship, and even for something as big as the Colossus, you don't really want to let that thing too close, but I don't really have much of a choice. we're just going to have to keep trying to put fire into him, and hopefully the firepower of both of our Colossi will be able to take him out, and then we can deal with the Sentinel. So just putting some more fire, and unfortunately we do run into the asteroid and we are killed. So I guess we better jump forward, and I'll see you guys once we respawn. Alright, so we're spawning back in. Unfortunately, our allied Colossus also succumbed to the firepower of the enemy team. We're going to jump into Alpha 2 now. I'm not entirely sure why I made that decision. But if you look up at the top, you can see we've got a significant advantage over the enemy team. I see why. Because we had captured Alpha 1 base again, and our enemy had gone into the enemy base. So I was jumping in there to try and jump straight into the enemy base, but unfortunately there is a cooldown period on your jump drive. So now that the cooldown is over, we can jump in. And here's Fallen Knight again. So we're just going to start putting some fire down. And unfortunately I see that pretty quickly I see that our team has not really made a successful push in here. It was too fragmented. I think we also had 2 AFK players at this point. But if you look at the very top, you can see our team has had a significant advantage. We've collected 19,500 resource. Enemy team has collected 12,000. Here I use my boost ability so I can just get out of range and jump back into Alpha 1. Simply because if you start a jump, all your defenses go down essentially, and you'll take significantly more damage while people shoot at you while you're trying to jump. Unfortunately, enemy can jump in straight after you. So we start to, I should have actually expected this, I didn't quite, but we start putting fire into this guy. We had some help who pretty much knocked his health down quite quickly, and we do some damage, but the other guy manages to get the kill. You will notice a considerable amount of lag in this video, and it was prevalent throughout the weekend. I don't think their servers were quite ready to handle the volume of players that joined over the weekend with the free weekend on Steam. And are we going to be able to get him? No, unfortunately our ally gets him once again. So we're moving back towards the Alpha 1 base. We have captured Gamma, which is always nice. And we're just going to come in here, go over the top, and then repair our ship because we're down to about half health. So yeah, I do think their servers were a little bit strained, but you know, it wasn't just me. There were a lot of people complaining about the lag, but you know, it happens. So we're moving back within the capture zone of Alpha 1, and we're just going to repair, and once that's done, I think we might take another stab of jumping into the enemy's base. Now this particular ship, this Colossus, or as I said, the flagship as it used to be known, and here we're going to start jumping into the enemy base, used to actually be one of my favorite ships. I really enjoyed this thing, and I still kind of do. So now we at least have a significant number of allies with us. Here is Hunter in his brawler. We try and take a shot with our engine disabled, but I think we give him a little bit too much lead. It's like a laser weapon, so very little lead is required. We use our boost to immediately get to within the capture sphere of the enemy base, and you can see we managed to capture a whole 5% of it before they got within the capture sphere and neutralized my presence here. And as you can see, the enemy base is firing at me, so you know, there's damage over time, and as long as you are capturing, you will take damage from the base itself, and even if you're just outside the capture point. But now someone else has moved in, and we've built it up to 12%, and we're just working over Fallen Knight. And my missiles have gone in, doing some pretty good damage, and now we're within a good range for our flak, and you can just see it ripping him apart. But unfortunately, Khan manages to sneak a shot in at the very end. That seemed to be a theme initially in this replay. Always putting in a lot of damage, but not getting that final hit. So Danik here, I think this guy was AFK, so we're just moving towards him, and we're firing everything we have. And we're going to keep disabling him as well in case he does return. We don't want him to start moving. And another big lag spike and some more. And this was just a constant thing, as I said, throughout the weekend for me, for everyone playing pretty much. But, you know, what can you do? So, putting more fire in, just waiting on everything to be ready again, and there we go, we managed to finish him off. But now I think the enemy has respawned, and It's Fallen Knight once again and Hunter, so perhaps we should have pulled out a little bit earlier, but Captain Jingles doesn't like to retreat. He likes to, stick it out there until the very end. So once again, 50-second wait until we can respawn, and I'll join you once we have our new ship. So with a few seconds remaining, I was really actually surprised how well the enemy team did, especially that player Hunter, because he's just killed someone else while we were respawning. And I mean, if you consider that we've collected nearly 15,000 resources more than the enemy team has, our ships are 2 levels above them. They really put up a hell of a fight. So we're now jumping into the Gamma sector, because as long as we own Alpha 1 or Beta 1, we can jump into the enemy base from the Gamma sector, which not everyone realizes. So I'm trying to be a little bit sneaky here, because as you can see, we do own Alpha 1. So I can make the jump. We are also pushing on Beta 1 right now. So we're going to have both of those points fairly soon. And I'm just kind of waiting, because I did see there were several enemies in the base. And if I jumped right away, I would be outnumbered once again. So here we are going to try and jump in. And I think I selected the wrong jump point, or I changed my mind, because I wanted to see if these guys from Beta 1 we're going to jump right away. And there you can see in the chat, Sideburn Steve is now jumping to Team 1 base. So we're going to start the jump now as well. And there he's popped in 3 enemies. And we are now in, and we've got Relay in the Pioneer, which is one of the starting ships. So we're going to focus on him. Missiles going in, we've disabled his engines. We've launched our swarm fighters, I think. And we're just going to pummel him with our flak. And as soon as our Condor missiles are ready, we will launch off another salvo, and there they go. And we've already wiped him down to about half health. And you can just see how the damage with these flak guns just climbs and climbs and climbs, and it's really fantastic, but not all the time, because this ship, being so slow, does have some pretty serious weaknesses. And if there is an enemy, I think it's called a Watchman, which is like the sniper class, if that's on the enemy team, they will make your life hell, because you will not be able to close fast enough to actually do proper damage. So here's Hunter once again, and we're just pouring in the hurt on his little brawler. And big lag spike here, you can see, just almost sitting still. He's launched missiles, someone's launched missiles at least, so we pop our point defense, and we're pretty much just sitting still now, because there's not really much need to move around. We've pretty much wiped out 3/4 of his health, but we're just going to keep putting in all that flak fire until he is no more. Relay has disconnected, so perhaps we made him rage quit. Fallen Knight manages to kill someone else on our team, and Khan steals Hunter. So I used my boost to quickly get to within the capture sphere of the enemy base and managed to cap it and win it for the team. But anyways, that is it for this video. If you enjoyed, please feel free to hit the thumbs up button down below, and consider subscribing for more Fractured Space, Armored Warfare, World of Warships, and a few other things I've thrown into the mix from time to time. But as I said, that is it from me. Thank you very much for stopping by. This is Predator 458 signing off, and I will see you guys next time.